Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for November 2023. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Those intuitively guided. You may not know if you have Taurus in your chart. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. Some of you are here checking up on a Taurus, and if that's the case, know that your guides know that, and they'll probably give you messages also. Sometimes I feel like when we're checking on another sign, more of the messages are for you. So just keep that in mind. Just keep your intuition open, have your spiritual ears on, and let's see where we go. Your last reading was quite beautiful. Matter of fact, I think I titled it The Most Beautiful Love Story Ever because it just was beautiful. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. I'll put a link at the end. I just loved it. So, anyways, I'm praying for really good things for you this month. My son-in-law, and I say with quotations because Sam and I are married, is a Taurus. My grandson is also a Taurus, May 7th. I can't think of Sam's son's birthday. But it's real close to the cusp. I do know that of Aries and Taurus. Anyways, I love reading for Taurus. I'm an Earth sign myself. I'm a Virgo, but I feel like I relate so much to Taurus. So let's just go ahead and get into reading, guys. We're going to use 3 different decks. I chose, really, I feel like the decks choose me. But it's interesting because I decided to put the Universal Tarot together with the Crystal Vision, which we'll be using to go deeper in our reading. So we'll put those aside for now. But the Universal Tarot is going to be your main spread. I just love the messages coming out of it this month. Last month it was a Psychic Tarot. Every month I feel like there's a special deck that just is being called for the majority of the people. All right, we're going to start with Mother Mary, though. Everything's pre-shuffled. I just like to shuffle with you here. But let's go ahead and open up the reading. Okay, I feel like... Oh, okay. Dang it. I'm going to take all 3. I just feel like you're meant to get them. It just felt right. All right, let's see. We have marriage. Marriage. I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. Marriage. We're going to read these from the book at the end. Watched over. One of my favorite cards in this deck. Because it often feels a reminder to those who sometimes feel alone in the world that you aren't just thrown down here to be alone. You have a whole spiritual team, your spirit guides, your angels, like they're put together before you even, hit this earth. So that's to me what it means. But let's read it. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over my loved ones and me. And then last but not least, mercy. Mercy. I am kind and thoughtful towards myself and others. Mercy. Okay. Let's bring in, first of all, let's bring this down a little bit. And let's bring in the Universal Tarot. Couple shuffles. It's impossible to shuffle them the other way because the cardstock is so thick. Okay, let's give them a cut. And let's begin. All right, we start with the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles, the art of give and take, receiving, giving, trying to find that equal balance of that. It's a very generous type energy in the Six of Cups. It's usually someone who, um, they like to help the underdog. And I don't think they do it, I don't, it's you. I don't feel like you do it because, you're expecting like something back. I feel like it just feels good to you. Because I feel you're very compassionate. But because we do have marriage also, and when I see marriage, it doesn't mean you have to be married. It's probably for some married people, but also marriage is also, like I know what it says with Mother Mary. It tells you to be open to the potential of love. Love. All right, let's keep going. I feel like the only downside to the Six of Pentacles really, it really talks about learning the art of give and receive, right? Um, and that you should receive in equal value. But it depends again, like what who you're giving to. This is an energy where you do want to be careful. Like I want to make sure that if I'm helping the underdog, that they're using it for a hand up and not just a hand out. Um, so, you do want to know who you're giving your money to. Though I feel like if I'm walking down the street and there's a homeless person on the street, I would just give them money. I mean, I just would, you know. Okay, well, let's keep going. We have the Eight of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles coming out. The Eight of Pentacles, first of all, it's an eight, so it can stand for a new beginning for sure. The eight to me is infinity as above, so below, no beginning, no end. The Eight of Pentacles, its message is, if you're thinking of, let's say you're starting a new business or, a new career, whatever it may be, this tells you that if you're willing to focus upon it, that you're going to grow it to success. Sometimes it's just putting my nose down and, you know, doing my thing and not being involved with everything else that's going on in the world. Some of you, I feel like you're just naturally, you may be starting something where you are, like your goal is to help others in some way, some fashion. But I still think in the same breath, like you have to make a living, right? You have to make a living. And I do feel like, if we think of the Eight of Pentacles, it talks about entering something as the apprentice. And I often feel that energy, like, we don't need to know everything there is to know because this is the energy about learning as you go. All right. Well, the Knight of Pentacles flipped itself around in the deck, so we're going to take it first. Always take what's faced up first. I kind of love this because again, we have another pentacle. And the Knight of Pentacles to me is like your guardian angel energy. This knight is responsible to bring you in a pentacle. Now, when I say a pentacle, I feel like it's a seed. Like I can take this seed and if I nurture it, I can truly grow it to success. And again, success is measured by different people measure it different ways now with all these pentacles. I do feel like it's got to also be talking about your money, like your money improving. The Knight of Pentacles comes in at the right time, so sometimes it's just like we can feel like we're at the end of our rope, and then boom, this knight shows up. It's a slow moving knight. It does speak about patience. It may be asking you to be willing to put your focus on something, like, taking a chance on you. And I feel like the universe responds to that very quickly. All right, let's keep going. Nine swords. Don't love that. Mirrored by the Six of Pentacles. And then look at this, the Ace of Cups. Interesting. Unconditional love. So everything is really quite beautiful, but then the Nine of Swords has to show its ugly head. Why? Well, let's talk about what the Nine of Swords means. First of all, the meaning of the card is unnecessary worry. But nonetheless, there's worry here. And if I look at what's mirroring it, it's the Six of Pentacles. So again, I feel like it's just you questioning your path. And especially for those who are starting something new, I feel like you're questioning it, even fearful of it. Like, maybe you're saying to yourself, I won't succeed. How could I? I'm not good at anything, that type of thing. But that's just all illusions that you're telling yourself. I feel like, clearly the Six of Pentacles being mirrored by the Nine of Swords means that somewhere along the line, you just may have given to the wrong person. And I definitely feel like you don't want a repeat of that, right? So the Knight of Pentacles coming in towards that Nine of Swords, well, that's not the right time. So I don't feel like that's when I bring in the Pentacle. Because I feel like this has to be dealt with first. Nine it's about ourselves. It is about reflection, but it's about final reflection. And, and if this is something that you're creating where you have a love for it, or you feel like, this is going to, how do I say this? Like, I feel like it's going to bring real satisfaction to your life. I hate to see you not do it, because of the fear. I really would hate to see you not do it. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else this ace might mean. It's almost like I'm fearful to give because how do I know that the one that I give to is receptive to it? That's energy. Your energy will tell you that. We have the Hierophant. It's like he's got the keys to the kingdom. This is about your belief system. It is your card. It's sitting under the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like it's saying you have to trust in your own abilities, like really trust within yourself. And again, I feel like if there's let's just say lower type energy around you, I feel as long as you're believing in yourself, that's all that matters. I feel like this Knight of Pentacles, it's not going to come in until the right time. And for some, it may be the recognition that, listen, maybe I kept giving to the wrong person, and maybe I did it out of love, but in the same breath, did it bring me the results I was searching for? Mm. So I do feel like, again, the Hierophant's got the keys to the kingdom, your kingdom. It's holding up two fingers like peace. Peace. Look at this, the Ace of Wands. Two aces in the same line with the Hierophant in between them. Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands. Now the Knight of Pentacles has the Ace of Wands right underneath it. So again, the Knight of Pentacles, patience, slow moving. I come in the right time. Well, this Ace of Pentacles would mean that not only does this ace show, but it needs your action. You know, your action to grow it to all that it can be. Ace of Wands is something that's desirable. You know, this Knight of Pentacles wouldn't bring in something that's not desirable. It is something that, again, is meant to enhance your life, expand your world, but it is going to take your action. It's got new growth, this wand, new growth upon it. So to me, it feels like something new. Now, it can be, I don't know why my screen goes dark. It can be like something that you've always had within you. Some of you, I feel like, like you would make great, what's like preachers, ministers, like speaking the word, but knowing the word. Maybe you're learning it right now. I feel like you're great at helping people find balance within their own lives. But if you don't have balance in your life, how can I help another find it? All right, let's see what's under this Nine of Swords. Okay, we have the Wheel, Destiny, mirrored by the Ace of Cups, by the way. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. I'm going to slide this all up a little bit. I feel like some of you may be starting, and you know, I'm going to say career, starting like potentially a new career, but it doesn't have to be a career. It may be like an outlet, some type of creative outlet that, listen, some of you may have even gone to school for it. I feel like you're meant to create. You know, it's interesting because I feel like last month your reading talked mainly about love. This reading seems now we have the Ace of Cups, so we'll probably be talking about love also. But I feel first and foremost, this is talking about you believing in yourself, in creating the type of world you want. Um, you know, like this, the wheel, destiny, has the Nine of Swords above it, but it's mirrored by the Ace of Cups. And then the Ace of Wands right next to it. So this is me taking action. You know, this is some type of destined choice, let's say, or part of what my soul wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. Feel like, you know, the only thing that doesn't fit right now is that Nine of Swords, especially because it's coming above the wheel. So there's something like that you're not trusting. There's just something you're not trusting. And, you know, we could say it's based from false thoughts, especially with the Hierophant here. Now, those thoughts could have come from other people. You know, I mean, I can think of a million times in my life where people told me, you can't, you won't, you aren't good enough, you don't know what you're doing. And, you know, don't get angry, just prove them wrong. Page of Pentacles to me says, learn what you can learn from your experiences, you know, and if there's something that, listen, the Ace of Cups attached to this, attached to Pentacles, if there's something you feel that, you know, would enhance your life, make you love your life, let's say, if there's something you feel, and sometimes you don't even know it until you take a step into it. It's almost like the epiphany comes first, and it's like, wait, well, what? What was that about? And then you start looking things. I know that's how I got into tarot, And that's how my spirituality opened, an experience that I had with my brother when he passed away. I saw two spirits come and collect his body, and I saw his body rise from you know I saw his soul rise from his body, and it was clear as day. The spirits that came to collect him were as long as the ceiling. I mean, they were like right below the ceiling. And it was the first time, well, I say the first time that I've ever experienced spirit in that way. But I have had experiences. It's just that I never really put the two and two together. But anyways, after that experience, so when my brother had crossed over, I think it was the very next day, I went to the library and I just started taking books out, um, learning about different psychics, learning about spirituality, learning all I could learn. And I'm telling you, I had like every day I was at the library because the night before I would read, five, six books. It just piqued my interest so much and literally changed my world. So, not even sure why I'm bringing that story up. Um, Other than to say that these experiences, I definitely think I was meant to see that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have saw it, right? Otherwise, I would have not been in the room, or I would have been asleep, or something like that. No, and the spirits moved so slowly, and they were white. Um, they were long. Um, I could almost say that they had like angel form to them. It did scare me at first. Matter of fact, I went to all sides of this is how long they were there. I went to each side of my brother's bed and said a quick prayer. Like, please, God, please let this be angels of light. And sat back down, and then it was all over. So, anyway, we have the Page of Wands next. Man of action, person of action. Two pages side by side. Interesting. And it's interesting. Well, I was going to say because the aces we got represent these two pages, but that's not true. We do have the Ace of Wands, so we have the Page of Wands. But then the Page of Pentacles, the other ace is the Ace of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And then we have the Nine of Cups. Well, I have to say that I kind of love that the Nine of Cups just came out because the Nine of Cups is mirroring that Nine of Swords. This is inner harmony, the Nine of Cups. This is really learning to love one's life again. But it's because of your own actions, right? It's because, sometimes we can't expect others to fill our cups. We have to fill our own cups. Um, bring ourselves to this harmonious state. And that doesn't mean that everything in my life is okay. I may have issues, I may have other issues, but this is about part of your life that, listen, eventually may change your whole life. So I feel like the only thing that really needs to go here is that Nine of Swords. And the main message of the Nine of Swords is unnecessary worry. Queen of Pentacles, she's holding that pentacle that the Knight of Pentacles says it's bringing in. So let's talk about this queen for a minute. Because, this queen has an actual specialty. She's someone who can read between the lines. She's someone who picks up those details that other people just miss. This is great energy for any kind of spiritual type work. I almost want to say psychic, but it doesn't have to be that. Just, attorneys, like, those who read a contract and find those little clauses that other people miss. Maybe some of you, that's an area you're moving into, where maybe you're helping the underdog, but you're helping them through, like, what are we missing? And you're finding it and therefore changing their lives. I feel like nothing you're doing this month, or let's put it another way, everything you're doing this month, I feel ultimately leads to true inner harmony. And everything is sitting upon your wheel. And I don't feel like this Knight of Pentacles. How can it be the right time to come in when I'm in the Nine of Swords energy? Because in the Nine of Swords energy, I'm just, what's the word I want to say? It's almost like I've just given up. I feel like sometimes shitty things happen, and we can either just stay in that energy of that shittiness, excuse my language, or we can look at it, deal with it, and then move out of it. Nines are about final reflection, not something I'm meant to reflect upon my whole life. And I'm going to really harping on that because it's the only, if I was going to say negative card, it's the only one here. We have another Knight. Knight of Wands now. Okay, well, Knight of Wands is fast moving energy. Knight of Wands is passionate type energy. It's almost like a rush of passion. That was my chair. My chair's about, I don't know how much longer it's going. I'm just going to find myself on the floor one of these days in the middle of a reading. I just know it. Anyways, so this Knight of Wands, that may be a little bit where the fear is at. There may be some type of change that's coming to you. It is an opportunity. And ultimately, I feel like it's something that you're going to love. It's something that sits upon your will. It's something that does take your belief system, like to trust within yourself. And it is something that does take your action. But I feel like you can handle all that. Three of Pentacles underneath that, doing something uniquely to yourself. Now, when I say that, doesn't mean there's not 1,000 other people do the same thing, but it speaks about your uniqueness to it. You know what I mean? And I also feel in the Three of Pentacles, other people appreciating what it is you do. It's recognition and rewards is what it is. Why? Because you had the guts to take a step forward. All right, let's just keep going. And, because I really want to look at, there's a couple things I really want to see. One of them is the Ace of Cups. I also want to see the Knight of Pentacles into the Nine of Swords. See what that's about. Even though I have a pretty good idea. All right, and we're using the crystal vision, by the way. All right, let's start at the beginning. We're reading as a whole. So I'm looking at the Six of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Swords. All right, we have the Page of Cups coming over to Six of Pentacles. Look at this with the Hierophant. So your card below and above the Eight of Pentacles. Man, I just feel like I feel like there's just something you're meant to create, or you're already in that energy. And I feel like you gotta really trust yourself. Again, I feel like it's like you're unlocking the doors to your kingdom, like heaven here on earth. But it doesn't come easy, right? Maybe I had to walk through a little hell to get to a little heaven. You got to believe in yourself, even if no one else believes in you. I believe in you. But, all right, let's keep going. Page of Cups to me is like your inner child. Three of Swords. Over that night. And then the Four of Pentacles. Three of Swords over that night. Nine of Swords following it. Ace of Cups following that. So Three of Swords talks about prior heartache, right? Prior swords in the heart. However, I do feel like that was the past. And, I want to say this in the nicest way I can, but I do feel like we're meant to heal ourselves. There's nothing, I mean, yes, reach out and ask divine for help. Ask your guides, ask your angels, but also ask yourself. And I only say that because Three of Swords tells me at some time there was some type of heartache. Now, whether it be related to your pentacles, whether it be related to love, or both. I feel like someone may be worried that they're losing a home. They're losing, they're worried about their foundation. I feel like also, if that's the case, try to be as open as you can when it comes to ideas, epiphanies, because I feel like the light is going to be shown how you can overcome that energy. But the Four of Pentacles can also talk about resistance, right? Almost like it's got to be the way that I see it, or it's going to be no way at all. Well, but maybe Divine's got a better plan than you can even imagine. And I feel like if I'm worried about losing something here, I almost feel like I got to tell the universe or divine or just vibrational that I'm willing to do whatever it takes not to lose it. Now, let's say I lose it anyway. Well, then I feel like then there's a bigger plan in place, like a divine plan. Because again, everything is sitting upon your will. All right, let's keep going. We have the Strength card, part of Leo, another eight. Eights have been all through the readings for November. And I feel like the main reason why it's getting us ready for 2024, which will be a universal year eight. Okay, so Strength card. Card of Leo, yes. This talks about our own inner demons. And this is like the Strength card is about finding that balance within ourselves. And when we do, it becomes a sense of our power. It turns from fear to power. You know, to thy own self be true. Know thyself. No, and I feel like the Strength card, again, if I'm looking at inner demons, what do I see here that would be considered an inner demon? Well, the Nine of Swords. Right. And the Three of Swords. So something broke your heart, broke your expectations. Something didn't turn out as you had hoped. But that is not the end. Maybe it's just the beginning. Now, maybe it's the end with that, whatever that was. But this is about, especially with these aces and the wheel, and this knight patiently waiting, right? And the knight will wait and wait and wait and wait. You know, there's no way this Knight of Pentacles is bringing you in any more heartache. So I feel like the message here is you have to see that, and you have to see how previous heartache, previous fears, previous things that didn't go your way, how it can and will affect your present and your future. Six of Swords. I'm very happy to see that right now. And the reason why I'm happy to see it is, especially coming with the Hierophant, it means that this Nine of Swords is being dealt with. This Three of Swords, it's being dealt with. It means that you're looking at it and you're saying, dang, I didn't realize how much of my energy I have given to these fearful thoughts, this overthinking, this prior pain, and how it still affects me today. So, Six of Swords is that realization, and then the moving out of it. Six of Swords, you're moving through choppy waters, but the promise is the calm waters follow, right? It's any kind of change is a little bit hairy, right? And it's over two fives change, but ultimately it's leading you again to much calmer type water. We have the King of Wands, King of Action. Can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Leo on the board. Trying to think, younger energy of the King. Even younger energy of the Queen. I just realized that. And it's interesting because if you look at this King, he's like, he has overcome his own inner demons. He's made peace with them. To me, the lion represents those inner demons, right? Where I want to be the king of the jungle, but sometimes, I may have to play a different part. So I feel like this king has come to terms. Three Pentacles again. The Hermit, part of Virgo, coming right over the page of Pentacles. And then hello, Two of Cups, Soulmate. Whether it be love or whether it just be the right people enter your life at the right time. Interesting too, because I feel like the Hermit is showing because of the Nine of Swords. Again, we have 3 9s in our corners. 999. One is of extreme worry. One is of inner harmony. And the other is really of our wisdom. To me, the hermit is someone who was willing to go deep, right? And sometimes it's not that I even was willing. I was, it's like I was thrown into the dark night of the soul. But this is someone who's seeking the light, even in the midst of the dark. And I feel like the hermit ultimately realizes that I am the light, right? I am my own light. I am my own savior. These chapters. And it's interesting because they're nines, and I feel like we go by 9 year chapters. These chapters, they happened, but, we have to learn. It's like reading a book. We don't want to keep reading the same chapter over and over and over again. Boring, right? We want to create new chapters. I feel like the Hermit is a very wise old soul, but maybe I don't realize that until I've gone through the dark night of the soul. This Hermit is over the Page of Pentacles, so I'm definitely learning. I'm learning a lot. And then the Two of Cups. It's interesting because it's coming over 2 pages, and we have their counterpart here, right? Again, Page of Pentacles, here's the Queen of Pentacles. The King of Wands, here's the Page of Wands. Knight of Wands, let's not forget about that, because this knight is coming towards you, and it's bringing a rush of energy. 8 of Cups. I feel like that's all the Knight of Pentacles is asking of you. Be willing to look within your own emotional house. Be willing to look at the cups that have fallen over and be truthful with yourself. Some of them you couldn't, it's like there's nothing we could have done. Some of them we have to learn our own part, and it's not to judge you, right? It's not about judging ourselves. It's about saying, okay, so this Three Swords happens. You know what? It's happened to us in many lifetimes. Where we get stuck is we think that we cannot overcome it. It's reminding me of a message where someone said, oh, so, I'm in love with someone and I should just overcome that. It's not that. It is, how can I refocus my mind? You know what I mean? Because if I think that's all there is, then is that all there is? I don't know. And we've all been there. And I love it's coming over the Queen of Pentacles because she's going to, again, be able to find those details that maybe at one time she's overlooked. Let's keep going. 4 of Swords. Flipped itself over in the deck. Healing. It's exactly what needs to happen. Healing. Healing what? The mind. The heart. Even my own expectations. Well, didn't turn out how I thought. Therefore, it must be wrong. But what if the universe is saying what you thought was much more limited than what you're capable of? Yes, sometimes we have to start at the beginning, but this feels very like divine driven. So if I'm willing to put my focus on really anything, that's what I'm going to grow. Now, if I keep my focus on my fears, then I'm just growing more fear. Healing. Healing brings this inner harmony. And I feel like that's what you need to find. Healing with the Hermit. Well, that's kind of beautiful. So, even in the dark night of the soul, I have the ability to heal those broken pieces of myself. Six of Swords is saying that you are realizing it, right? You are realizing it. You're realizing how the Nine of Swords does play an effect in your life. How could it not? Right? Or hanging on to the Three of Swords. It's heartache. I know that. And I know I have been there, and I know how hard it is. But I also know when I look back and I think about those that I just thought, well, that's it. Life is over. Then I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm with the right person today, if that makes sense. And none of it was planned. All of it, at least not by us, at least that we know of. You know what I mean? I feel like it was more like our soul seed of intention to meet at, because we met at just not met. We already knew each other from teenagers, but we hadn't seen each other in 40 years. And just him reaching out at really a very low time in my life was exactly what I needed. And it did change everything. And it's interesting how quickly I got over what I thought was heartache. I mean, it was instant. Okay, I want to look at a couple things. I have the Ace of Cups that is also touching the Two of Cups. So I feel like I want to look a little deeper at that real quick. We have the Ten of Wands. Well, I'll tell you, I feel like I know what the Ten of Wands is already with the Strength card above it and the Six of Pentacles with the Page of Cups. To me, it reads as, where, like, I feel like you're happy to give. Now, I don't feel like you're the most emotional creature. Like, it may be harder. And many of us earth signs have that where it's harder to express like our emotions, especially as it relates to love. But what we do is show it, right? Action oriented. So what I'm feeling here is, this Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords is all created out of energy of, I don't know, I feel like part of the lesson was like learning who I give to, like who I give my time to, who I give my love to, who I give my money to. I feel like, why? Because it feels like you are the one who ended up with, let's just say, the majority of the responsibility for whatever this may be on your shoulders. I feel like the Ten of Wands, this person secretly is wishing for a tower. Like end it for me, universe. I'm having a hard time ending it myself. Okay, we will. Okay. I want to follow that though. Death card. First of all, card is Scorpio. But I mean, it makes so much sense because there's that Ten of Wands. It's me carrying all the responsibility, and I say all the responsibility, I just mean the heaviness of everything. So the Death card asks you to close the door, right? Close the door to what was. Don't forget the Hierophant's got the keys to the kingdom, and they're here for you. So the Death card says, it's understandable that it's fearful to close a door. But the death's card's real promise is about when you do close the door, the next door will open. And I feel like that is the Knight of Pentacles here. Closing this door. And listen, what am I really just learning? I'm just learning about myself. I'm learning about who I am and how I am in life, in relationships, in finances, all of that. I'm learning these things because maybe something bigger and better is coming your way, and these lessons may be very valuable to you. If nothing else, I want to say believe in yourself. I don't care who doesn't believe in you, believe in yourself. Okay. So is this rebirth the Two of Cups? Let's go on the other side of the Soulmates. Saying rebirth, but the next door opens. Seven of Cups. Five of Wands. Interesting. All right. Seven of Cups means that the ball's are going to be in your court. That a lot of things that are happening to you and really for you, though it doesn't always, I can still be fearful of it, but I feel like like the ball ends up in your court. Now, let's look at this Five of Wands, because this is a very ego type energy. It's coming over the Eight of Cups. So this Five of Wands sits within your emotional house. This is the energy where, sometimes I expect someone else to apologize, but I don't receive it. And when I'm in it, it's terrible, right? But as I start to move away from that energy, it's like, did I really even need that apology? This is the energy of no one backing down. Well, I feel like if no one backs down, how can we have harmony? Because ultimately you end up in inner harmony. So I don't feel like this Five of Wands is about what will be. I feel like the Five of Wands is what is also stored within your emotional house. Ego. I'm going to keep following that. I wanted to be very clear. I mean, I get it. And then I love that healing is next to that. So, these hardships, healing is available, but we do have to learn, like, what to put in the past, what to close doors to, because, that's part of our life. That's part of the cycles. Like, I feel like after a cycle, a door is meant to close, but new doors will continue to open. Look at that. Well, there's a new door. The world. The next chapter. Interesting, Taurus, because I feel like as it relates to your money, this feels very, very good. I do feel like you have to trust in yourself, even if like you're getting these epiphanies to start something new that you couldn't even like why am I going this direction? Just trust yourself. It's the story of my life. I'm telling you, like how things open up where it's like, well, I'm not even sure if I'm qualified. Well, you learn as you go. Learn as you go. I feel like, get rid of the fear that you're not good enough for something. And again, put that trust back in yourself. I feel like as this relates to love, um, I feel like somewhere in your past, there's just the energy of, again, you giving. And I know there's people out there who's going to be like, no, it's Taurus it takes. Well, to each their own, right? We all have our own experiences, but at this table right now, I feel like this is talking about what I have to learn is who I'm giving to, who am I giving my time to, my money to, my heart to. And, am I receiving in equal amounts? Now, as it relates to love, I mean, it's not always like, okay, well, you give, then I give. Sometimes like someone's better at something and you're better at something else. Just like I said, where like sometimes I may not be great at speaking how I feel emotionally, but I'll show it. And I say I mean you, I mean us. So the world is the next chapter. Healing is underneath it, and inner harmony is underneath that. I'm not sure how that can be bad. I feel like this is about letting go of what's not serving you, and that's what the person in the Six of Swords is doing. I feel like potentially, if this Two of Cups is talking about someone's coming in your life, I feel like this is someone who has overcome their own demons, and we all have them. There's nobody perfect. They may claim to be perfect, but there is no perfect person, right? We're born imperfect, and it's because we're meant to learn. All right. I feel like I just want to go right across the middle of the reading and just see if there's anything else that wants to come out. Come on out. Come out. Whoa. Two of Wands. This is like you saying yes to the universe, whatever it may be. Two of Wands is someone who, to me, doesn't think a lot about should I take this next adventure. I'm already, in my mind, I'm already taking it. That's what I love about the Two of Wands because, it's like I'm just going to move with the energy and I'm going to trust within the energy. And then look at this, the Knight of Cups, unexpected couple fulfillment. So now you have three knights. One knight is promising to bring you in a pentacle that's meant to expand your world, truly expand it. Now, again, all of these I feel like arrive as seeds, except I feel like the Knight of Wands is like a rush of passion or energy, but energy in your favor can still be a little scary. And then this Knight of Cups, well, he's supposed to bring a cup in. Well, we already have it, and he's facing the Ace of Cups. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? Knight of Cups says, can't really plan it. But I feel like, when does this Knight come out? After the learning, after the clearing of past energy. Because it probably wouldn't serve you if you're still in the Nine of Swords or you're still carrying the Three of Swords. Doesn't mean you're completely healed. Don't get me wrong. I feel like there's broken little pieces of us that we do carry. But I do feel like sometimes the right person can help heal those last little pieces. So this Knight of Cups is coming in, bringing a couple fulfillment. Well, it's already done that with the Ace of Cups. That would make sense with the Two of Cups. So I feel like, ultimately I feel like when you find clarity, life finds you. Potential finds you. Love finds you. But I feel like it all begins with you. Closing of doors, of chapters is probably one of the most important things to learn how to do because carrying the energy of the past heartache, or let's even say past lives, like, we've been there, we've done that. No, it's better to look at it from the Hermit's point of view. I'm going to reflect upon this. I'm going to seek the answers. And I feel like the Hermit ultimately becomes the master teacher. The Hermit ultimately is shining his beacon of light out to others. And I feel like that's what you're good at. So that's what I feel part of these Pentacles are talking about. But then love also. But I swear, like, I feel like this Knight of Pentacles is saying, I'm not moving. I'm not moving until certain things are dealt with, right? It makes no sense for me to come in when you're in the Nine of Swords energy. You'll talk yourself out of it. So I'm going to wait until you've done this reflection. I'm going to wait until you are ready to close the door. You know, this is you telling the universe you're ready. And the universe is responding. You know, sometimes it's like doing the work. Yes, I hate that word, like doing spiritual work. But doing spiritual work just means that I'm looking back at the chapters of my life and I'm trying to understand them from a spiritual point of view. Why would I do that? Because I am a spiritual being having human experiences. So my spirituality is what really can help me move from chapter to chapter. The world, to me, that feels like 2024. It's a coming. Nights, all these nights are coming toward you. Each night is, whatever their promise is, that promise is showing up. Now I feel like it's just saying, do your part, just do your part and we'll do our part. Okay. Um, let's read marriage. I don't know that we need to read all of them, but I want to read marriage. You drew this card because your relationship needs loving attention. You've been out of balance lately with too much focus upon work and intellectual pursuits. Mother Mary steps in and asks you to stop what you're doing and put your energy into your marriage. In fact, make a renewed commitment to it in all of your interpersonal relationships. Allow yourself to care about and connect with each person you love. For unmarried individuals, this card signals a positive and important change in your love life, provided that that you open your heart and allow yourself to be authentic and vulnerable with others. Commit to developing your relationships at the highest possible levels so that they are truly love-filled. Amen. All right, let's read Watched Over. This card brings a message of reassurance of your safety and asks you to drop any defenses or guards that may currently be preventing you from enjoying your life. By relaxing into God's protective arms, you reduce your stress level in helpful ways. God, Jesus, Mother Mary, and the angels have heard and answered your prayers for protection. You receive their answers via your repetitive feelings, and thoughts, which guide you along the pathway of safety. Keep your mind sober and open so that you can clearly pick up on these divine messages. Be sure to take action where they direct you. That's what these aces are, especially the Ace of Wands. It's action. All right, and then last but not least, mercy. This card asks you to notice the way in which you relate to people, including yourself. If you're kind and thoughtful towards others, you will have higher self-esteem. While you can't control how another person treats you, mercy and compassion are usually returned in kind. This card is a message to avoid gossip or criticism of yourself or others, and to consciously speak in loving and empowering ways. The higher energy generated by positive words will insulate you from negativity. This is the true meaning of judge not, lest ye be judged. Amen. It's interesting because I feel like your reading has covered all aspects of your life, which makes it very hard to come up with a title where, like I'm always like I want my title like so what to expect in your reading, but this is a little bit of everything, guys. Um, it really feels like a blessing, but until someone is out of that Nine of Swords energy, it's hard to see it for what it truly is. So this may be a reading you need to revisit. Um, but as you start moving into, let's just say, more positive type energy, I feel like you'll see this in a different light. Anyways, let's let it be. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your donations, keeping this channel alive. I am doing a personal reading special. I don't know why I didn't mention it in the beginning. It does end tonight at midnight Eastern Standard Time. And I have to end it at midnight because I don't want people to have to wait too long for your readings. They're very in depth, and the special is take $44 off the normal reading, which would bring you to 111. Um, yeah, so I'm doing that, and I apologize. Hopefully make sure that if you subscribe to the channel, you also hit that bell and you receive all notifications. I don't put that many out where I feel like I would bug you. You can always turn it off. But because, I don't know, I feel like, when I run specials and that, if you don't have that bell hit or whatever they call it, then you may never know about it. And again, it's unfortunate I can't get all the readings out before the special ends, but it's just the way I have to do it. So, anyways, that's going on. But anyway, I thank you guys. And thank you just for supporting my channel in the million different ways you choose to. Thank you for sharing them. Thank you for watching the ads. Some people are like, I can't afford to donate. But watching the ads really is kind of like donating. And by the way, when you donate, it's not a big deal, but I prefer that you use my PayPal, because, YouTube takes a big percentage of the super thanks. But completely up to you. But again, thank you. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to let that be. I feel like I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to let that be. I love you guys. Funny, I wanted to say happy birthday. Maybe somebody's here that's celebrating a birthday. Um, Anyways, I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.